Our next charismatic speaker.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My general purpose today is to inform. I hope to inform my audience on the duties and training of a Fleet Marine Corps combat medic. The whole concept of being a medic is to put yourself in the line of fire so that others may live. Every night when I close my eyes, I go back to a place where tragedies are frequent, wounds severe, and the medic is needed. Throughout my history as a medic, serving in 3 tours in Iraq with Marine Corps Infantry, Scout Snipers, and several small unit assignments, I have learned the valor it takes to be a medic and to serve your fellow man. And what does it mean to put yourself out there into a storm of gunfire to save another man's life? Not once, not twice, but every time it's needed. Well, it takes a lot. This brings me to my first main point. Medics are trained to keep everyone alive. But with all this training, the priority is self-preservation. With this being said, if the medic goes down, essentially you have lost the one individual in a small unit that has the most medical knowledge. With that being said, it has a very negative effect, not only literally, but it can also bring down the morale of every other troop in that unit. These are pictures of some of the schooling I went through. You talk about keeping yourself alive first as a medic. You can see here, this is all just training, not real life scenarios. So, in order to keep myself alive first, I have my weapon of choice here, M16A4. Some more training pictures. It's not every situation where the medic is lucky enough to be able to drag the wounded out. Sometimes it's a Marine doing it, so you have to do it in the Marine's job and lay down cover fire while the wounded are getting evacuated from the hostile situation. This is a picture of a quick reaction force unit. That's me right there, that tall, skinny, handsome devil. Basically, these guys right here, I wasn't part of this unit. I was with the infantry, but I used to come here and hang out with these guys in the forward observing base. And basically, these guys would just sit around and wait for things to get messy. And then they go charging in with their little up-armored ambulance here, with machine guns and bandages, and save the day. So, with all that being said, there's still more to learn. I'll take you to my second point. Not only do medics have to keep themselves alive, but keep in mind, they also have to keep everyone else alive. This is a small unit assignment, an example, called Jump Team. That's me right here, otherwise known as Doc, which is also a sign of respect that you earn. These are my guys here. So every day that we receive fire, not only was I worried about myself and making it back home to my family, what I cared about, I had to worry about every individual here and their family, and them making it back to who they cared about. With these things going through your mind, it's important to be aware of the effects it can have on your psyche during and after armed conflict. And if you start having issues, it's up to the medic to correct that. Or if he notices issues in one of his fellow comrades, it's also up to the medic to correct that, because if you don't correct that, your fellow Marines will pick up on it. And everyone needs to have a clear head in this type of environment. This is the car bomb. One of our most prevalent enemies in Iraq was MKO, otherwise known as Mujahideen Khalid Organization. The MKO was termed a terrorist organization by the United States Department and many other states. These guys would basically use these bombs here, excuse me. See, I've got a lot. Use these bombs to obviously create hostile situations, and then when medical personnel would respond, they would have secondary explosions waiting there for them. So these are the type of situations, environments that the medics live in daily. My third main point. Also, not only am I having to protect myself and save other people's lives, I was also assigned the task of literally just keeping people alive. This guy here, don't remember his name, if I did, I probably didn't pronounce it correctly. He's a general for the Swaneys, which is basically Rocky Special Forces. And I was on a four-week mission, political mission. Basically, he had to do his political agenda, and my job was to keep him alive. And if you see someone snaps a photo of him, I guess, and I got the cough back there. So I kept it. With all this being said, this is my Purple Heart, my first one, and it just gives you an example of the kind of valor and the performance that's put out there on an individual level. Leslie Gale writes in the book Power Rules, America cannot ignore its investments or involvements, but it's up to each individual to deploy with military troops in foreign areas to make a difference on a much more personal level. And that was my path. Last picture here, this is a same jump team, just a different setup. That's me right there. It says Brothers in Arms, kind of ending with a happy note there. To wrap it up, basically I hope that I informed you well on the rules, training, and duties of Elite Marine Corps Combat Medic, how they keep themselves alive, others alive, and use weapon tactics to repel enemy forces. That concludes my presentation. Thank you.